Big shout out to everyone watching this Jrod Point. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Very happy to be here today. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 to the 2 to the 1, and please give me the 1 or give me the 2. Big shout out to everyone watching this Jrod Point. Very happy to be here. Big shout out to Amy Conway. Big shout out to Amy Conway. As always, very appreciated. Buzz Lady in the chat. Buzz Lady in the chat in the building. Thank you so much for being here. Very so much appreciated. Big shout out to Cave Lynn. Big shout out to Cave Lynn. Cave Lynn in the building. Amy Conway, of course, always want to make sure to hit the like button. Put a little bit of DNA on that like button. We promise you we will not utilize IGG techniques against you. It hit different. Big shout out. Big shout out. Make sure to please share the content. Tell you people that we here. We about to talk about the Idaho 4 Bryan Kohberger case. Today, I decided to not put no title. It's Jrod Point True Crime Live Chat. We're gonna talk about whatever is out there right now. I want to talk about whatever you want to talk about. You're gonna be paying attention to what's out there. We're gonna browse a little bit. We're gonna have conversations. We're gonna talk about the latest. We're gonna talk about the court ensuring Bethany Funk's attendance in Boise, Idaho. It hit different. And please make sure before we go any farther to click like, subscribe, and share the content. And also, please vote on top. Bryan Kohberger is question mark guilty or innocent. It don't matter what you want to do, just make sure that you vote. Just make sure that you vote. We want to appreciate all the donations to the channel. Thank you so much to all the donors. Thank you so much for everyone that has been supporting the channel. It's very so much appreciated. Thank you for all your donations. Thank you. Enough said. Make sure to hit the like button. We're here to talk about it and be about it. Okay. Kathleen in the building. Thank you for being here. Very, very so much appreciated. Kathleen said, hi, everyone. Boom, bam. But yes, ladies, we're going to talk about the Idaho 4 Bryan Kohberger case. It's very interesting. Quite a few topics that we have to talk about today. We just going to enjoy the show. We're just going to make sure that we have a good time while we at it. You know, it's going to be a very particularly interesting how the state want to make sure that Bethany Funk is in court. Oh Lord, let me not start. Let me not start. Mm-mm-mm. I had to come live, surprise, surprise. It's the weekend. For those that don't expect me to be here, nah, 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 nah. You know what I'm saying? I had to be here. I had to. It's the weekend. I miss ya. I miss the true crime community. And it's always great to come here and have conversations with ya, which it really do justice to the true crime community, does justice to the victims, because we only want justice for the victims. Whoever those are, which in this case it seems that Bryan Kohberger has become one of those victims in my humble opinion. Because we have watched many true crime cases, and we could agree to disagree, right? Overall, but at the same time, besides the Delphi case with Richard Allen, We have not seen this. Like this is the closest to the Delphi case when they picked up Richard Allen and hiding for a while. It's kind of like not the same, but the same, not the same. You know what I mean? For this type of injustice, like far as you know, the murder of Kiely, Maddie, Ethan, and Santa, for such a crime scene and for such a type of crime, right? You expect that law enforcement would come up with something else, like with something that would give everyone around, not just the community, but the parents and the viewership and anyone that listen to the case. You would think that they would take in consideration like then, like okay, the gravity of the case is pretty magnificent, is big, is really, we haven't seen nothing like this for a while. And you think that law enforcement and everyone that has to do with this case will at least take in consideration, like, you know what, like they deserve justice though. They do. And then we see here everything in secrecy since the very beginning. Everything, you gotta trust us. And it's sad to say that at this day today, we can't really see nothing there that will tell me he probably could have done it. Because at this day today, we still don't have nothing. We still don't have nothing from the prosecution team that we could see here and be like, you know what? This man is cooked. I can't, everything they have presented has an argument, you know? If you ask me as a viewer and as a content creator, I don't appreciate what the prosecution has done. I don't. I really don't. You know, the sarcasm, the gaslighting, the oh well type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, coming from the point of view as a viewer, right? Yeah, no, I know that's also it was no DNA in the Delphi case that he could have convict Richard Allen. Which is, we could all agree or disagree that that should have, it was supposed to be a fest of DNA, you know. Caitlin saying my opinion, since with some of these cases, when Elise involved, there is no justice for the victims. You see, Caitlin, I totally agree with you. And I want to add to that that goes right along with what we're talking about. And I appreciate you though, because we want to trust those that are taking care in these cases. Like we want, as a viewer that is paying attention to these cases, we want justice. But at the same time, while the search for justice, we want to feel that the information that is being given about it is accurate. Like in reality, that's all what we're looking for. We're looking for the information that is being provided from prosecution, from law enforcement. We want that information that when you go to court is self-explanatory. Like I totally understand that a lot of cases, has complications. A lot of cases got like the intricacy. It has a level of complication, because we could agree that not every murder scene is the same. So for those detectives that take care of these murder scenes, each one of those murder scenes are different, but in the same time that in the same breath that they different, they are very particular. Like it's certain things than killers always do is always like a format that when the killer gonna kill, it's always certain things that will happen that are very particular, but not the same, which it complicates the information that it comes out of it, especially if you don't have trained, and I'm talking about well trained, well spoken. Because again, in leadership positions, we only want those that it could relay the message in the best way possible. If he's no confident in the messenger, us as viewers, we will pick that up. And then here comes the blame of, oh, it's your interpretation of the information which is wrong. That's what's wrong, is your interpretation. No, it's not the interpretation. It's not us getting it wrong. Is in a way, thank you for those hearts. I appreciate you. Is in the way the information is being delivered to us as viewers, they either creates confidence or either creates doubt. So then when we're going to see here and talk about the guilters or the pro burgers or the ones that like us, we just want justice. It don't matter. Listen, it don't matter what you think. It don't matter what you want. It don't matter nothing. Like the only one thing that it matters is some kind of positive justice, because we can understand that not always in the look for justice, you will get the justice that you want. And I think we could all agree with that. Like you're not always are going to get what you want out of justice. You get whatever justice it was there for you to get. And that's just the legal system in United States of America. Like you could think however you think about your case, but that not necessarily means that the court or law enforcement is going to look at it the same way. What was the whole it's like, just think about it for a second. I just want our community, that now that we have the opportunity to be here, we are a very small but very, very thoughtful community. I think we are one of those best small channels that actually do represent what's common sense. Even though, yeah, I'm passionate. I go out in flames, and yeah, I go hard for what I believe. And I appreciate the community understanding that and giving me the benefit of the doubt. Totally understand people to say, like, Jrod, sometimes he up the hinges. And I sit back and I'm like, well, I'm glad that you realize that I'm very off the fucking hinges, because for these true crime cases, you had to be. You have to be. You have to be off the hinges for you to sit here in YouTube true crime and pay attention. Cause I want people to understand YouTube true crime. If it's not the biggest niche in the whole YouTube hemisphere, and if it's not the biggest, it's one of the biggest niche. And you get true crime cases every single day, non-stop. That's how much evil we could tell is running around Earth. Because we see something bad happening every day. I haven't even put myself together to actually touch and talk about the three young girls, three babies that their dad apparently and allegedly, it seems that he was the perpetrator, that he was the person that harmed those young ladies in Washington. It seems that he's still on the run. I still have not put myself together to talk about that case, nor talk about the case of the three little boys here in Ohio that their dad shot him to death. I have not put myself together to have the strength, because it hit home. But for those that are here in YouTube True Crime every day, like myself, that I'm here. I'm here every day. I'm a full-time YouTube content creator. I'm a YouTube partner. I'm a YouTube true crime content creator. I'm a YouTube creator. And that there is 24/7. I take that. I listen, that's a badge of honor that I have the opportunity to reach out to people all over the world that actually do click on our content. We appreciate everyone that have given us the benefit of the doubt, and thank you for your support. But for those that are here every day in YouTube True Crime, my prayers go out to you. Lisa, Lord. Stop, Jrod. Try to get it together, Jrod. Get serious, bro. Keep it serious. Keep it serious. Keep it serious. And I agree with Kathleen. It looks like a cover up. It's just why the Idaho form Bryan Kohberger case, it has to look like that, ladies. Why? Why this such a big case? The biggest case in the docket. It's not even Didi. It's not even the Puff Daddy trial. But by the way, big shout out to Tisa Tales. Big shout out to Tisa Tales. It seems that she's gonna be in Nancy Grace at some point pretty soon. Big shout outs to her. Congratulations. She was in ABC. So you know why it is It's opportunities here in YouTube True Crime. It's opportunities. It's all about capitalize when you have the opportunity to do so. Consistency and hard work pays out. Big shout out to Tisa Tales. Amy Conway say, oh, one of the girls, such as three others, I remember correct. One female, but no further testing. Saying, yeah. It was really not much. It was really not much done. Big shout out to Debbie. Thank you for being here. Big shout out to Debbie Ann. Thank you for being here. Very so much appreciated. Thank you for popping up. We got Amy Conway and Kathleen in the building. We got Debbie Ann. Thank you so much for popping up. Very so much appreciated. In the Delphi case, those young ladies, it was not a accurate forensic processing at all whatsoever. That just my humble opinion. It was really no proper forensic. Yeah, I mean, it's very sad with what's going on in Washington with the three young ladies. They were babies, man. Like you see, oh man, I can't. You see, let's stick to the Idaho full Bryan Kohberger case, because yeah, Amy, I totally agree with you. It's a conversation that I need to really gather my thoughts to even have that conversation with you. Again, yeah, no, listen, me and my wife, we looked at the case, and it broke our heart. I'm looking at those three beautiful young little ladies. I'm looking at the three that I have home, and I'm like, oh my God, like what kind of evil? What kind of evil? You see, that's why people don't believe in principalities, but it's some principalities running around Earth, creating havoc and creating chaos. Because it had to be a demon, it had to be something spiritually immoral for a parent, for a dad, kill his three beautiful princess. Nah, that shit don't fly, man. It's no common sense in that, and that's pure animal behavior right there. I gotta call it how I see it. That was pure animal intent. It was you no. I don't care what no one says. That was not deserved, and that was just awful. And again, ladies, I'm sorry, my apologies that I can't really put myself together to keep on going on the topic, but I appreciate ya. I appreciate ya, your sentiment. Our thoughts and prayers to all the families involved, and the suffering, the pain, and the loss of these three young little babies. Listen, man, our thoughts and prayers and our hearts go out to ya. Big shout out to Debbie Ann. It's always good to have you here. Very so much appreciated. Thank you for being here. We're talking today about the Idaho full Bryan Kohberger case. And you know what though? I'm a chill with ya. I'm a chill with ya the right way. You know what? I'm gonna drop the link though. I'm gonna drop the link for those that want to pop up and talk about the Idaho full Bryan Kohberger case. I'm gonna drop the link. Big shout out to everyone watching. It's Jrod on Point. Very so much appreciated. I'm gonna drop the link. Please make sure you don't get blocked. Be nice. Talk to me nice. Yeah, it's a pretty sad case though. It is bad though. It's bad. The guy's still on the run. So ex-military, but it doesn't seem like he was like any type of like special op and nothing like that. Or at least they have not shared that type of military information about the guy. You know what I mean? But it seems that he was military. Travis Decken. Okay. That's his name, Travis Decker, out of Washington. Yeah, man. Yeah, that case right there. I gotta say that I don't have nothing to say. I really don't have no words for this one particular case at all whatsoever. Because again, the only thing that I think about is how horrendous the type of case is. You know, again, the Idaho 4 is horrendous. You know what I mean? But man, it hit home. It hit home. Like it's some cases in YouTube true crime that they really hit home. You know, you hear about children dying, and you look at your children's at home, and it's like, oh my God! But how can people could even think? It is no excuse at all whatsoever. You know, because as a parent, the only thing that you do every day is making sure your kids are happy, healthy, well educated. That's all we do every day as a parent. Making sure those babies are happy and that we are doing our job as a parent the right way. And then you get hit in YouTube true crime about a case like that, case like the Idaho 4 Bryan Kohberger case, the case of those three young little babies that die by the hands, apparently by the hands of their dad, you know, and many other cases in YouTube true crime that it really hits you in the gut. And it's not easy though. It is you know, that's why you see me that sometimes, you know, I try to keep my sense of humor on point because it's sad. It's sad. Like sometimes it's like, man, I'm gonna turn on this live stream and just talk to my people when I don't have no words. I'm telling you, it's cases in YouTube true crime that I don't talk about it because I do not have words for it. It just like in reality, I want to act like they're not even there. I don't click on it. I don't listen to it. You know the case of that young teenager Soto. What's her name? Jennifer Soto, something like that. Rest in peace. It seems that the allegations are that she died of the hands of her stepfather. The mom's looking shady too. You know, this is so-called parents that these type of cases, again, is not the type of cases that I could sit here and be like, you know, we could talk about this, break it down and whatnot, because the details are so horrendous. You know, at least in the Idaho 4 Bryan Kohberger case, we have a little cover of the factual information of all. I mean, remember, before the gag order, it was some details about this crime scene God have mercy. Like the type of stuff that we was listening to about the Idaho full Bryan Kohberger case, like in a way the victims were left. It was some details about the Idaho full Bryan Kohberger case. Listen, I don't know if y'all heard, but oh my God, those details about how Kiely was left and the conditions of the room and whatnot. Listen, man, it's serious. This is why, I always try to not really enter into too much details because, man, first and foremost, we're not allowed to be too graphic here in YouTube true crime, and it's gut wrenching. It's really gut wrenching, like the details that are coming out of these cases, though. You know what I mean? So today, let's get in some let's get into some speed. Let's get the energy up. Let's not let ourselves get dominated by the pain of true crime. Let's get into some great conversation about the Idaho Bryan Kohberger case. You are listening to On Point True Crime. I'm your host, Jrod On Point. I'm very happy to be here today. We're talking about we are talking about the Idaho Bryan Kohberger case today. Got a little picture there, you know what I mean? Kathleen said, "Mine are adults and I still parent. The love run deep over your children. One is moving 8 hours away. Yeah, I tell you, when they grow up to go and live their life, the only thing that we expect out of life is that we did our job to make sure they know how to live life on their own and that they will make and take the best decisions possible in life. That's all we could do because that's the only thing that we could do. We just got to make sure that we raise our kids right, and when they go to college, man, we could only pray that they take the right decisions, that they, hang out with the right crowd. It's good to party. It's good to party. Ain't nothing wrong with a little party, partying the right way. It's all about partying the right way. It's key. You can have a little bit of drink. You can always have a little bit of smoke. You can always hang out with your friends. You can always kick it, have a good time. But at the same time, excess. Excess is never good. You know what I mean? When you do anything in excess, it's never good though. I could only imagine, ladies, what's your opinion? What's your take and what you think it was going on that night? Far as the house. Like far as yeah, yes, Kathleen, partying with some common sense. We're gonna get to the chat. We're gonna get to the chat. I'm here watching. You know how I am. I'm just trying to deliver the right message today. Big shout out to all those that are popping up to the live stream. It's the host of the Mo's, the team to the tango, the gene to the Django, Jrod on point. You are listening to On Point True Crime. I'm your host, Jrod on point. Very happy to be here with y'all today. But let me cook. let me cook. Let me cook, and hopefully y'all have time to have conversations today. Because I do. I do have time though. I do have time, plenty time. And I want to talk about with you about the Idaho full Bryan Kohberger case. They have a court hearing. Amy Conway dropped me a comment saying they next court hearing. Correct me if I'm wrong, Amy. Is the 18th of this upcoming? Correct me if I'm wrong, please. Big shout out to Amy Conway, boss lady in the chat. Oh yeah, Florida. Yep. Maddie Soto. Okay, got you. Got you, got you, got you. Thank you, Amy. Very so much. Appreciate it. You could always party. You could always party. It's all about in the way you party. Like if you party to have a good time, to get together with your friends and whatnot. You know, again, you could have a little drink. You could have a little smoke. Get together, some music, get your dance off. But at the same time, you have to always play safe. You have to always play safe. Always. Kiely, again, it seems her death was very intentional, a crime of passion. You see, oh my God, Kiely. Yeah, in that case, in the case of Soto, it could only be like, you see, it's no excuse, it's no reasoning, it's really no reason why that could have happened, right? You see, in my mind, but it's only few things. It's only few things that I could think of for anyone to do something like that, and it's all like it actually includes the mother. It actually includes the mother. Because if you ask me in my personal opinion, the mother, some way, somehow, she was involved, enabling shit, acting like, shit don't stink, everything all good, until you probably got a little too jealous because the man was now looking the other way and not to you. Sometimes females could be very vindictive. Listen, I have known mothers that have killed their daughters for messing with their man. Okay? I don't know if y'all have heard the stories of females killing their own daughters for messing with their man. For, their man probably, she allowed certain things, but then it gets to one point in the mind of the female. Ladies, correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. Then it gets to a certain point that enough is enough, and then it's no turning back. Damage is being already done. So now to fix the problem in some people's mind, you have to get to the stream to actually fix the problem. And that's the mentality of some killers. It's a twisted mentality when we talk. It's a twisted mentality when we talk about that. Because at this day today, if you ask me, and we're gonna go back to the Idaho for Bryan Kohberger case, and we're gonna leave it at that. And we're gonna leave it at that. But again, in my opinion, the mother, some way, somehow, should pay some kind of consequences, legally consequences for what happened to that young teen. That just in my opinion. The mother could pull whatever victim card she could pull. It doesn't fly here. Because just this little details that we have gathered about that case, it does not give the mother no pass, no benefit of the doubt, none of that shit. Everything we have heard about this case, it tells us that she should have some kind of consequences about what happened to her daughter. If it's any legal means or you see any legal anything that they could get her for, they should go after her. Like if it's any legal repercussions, if it's anything that the mom did, she should have consequences. But we're gonna leave it there. We're talking about the Idaho for Bryan Kohberger case. So, ladies, what's out there? Because again, y'all visit different chat rooms and whatnot, right? And y'all pay attention to probably different shows that I don't pay attention or whatnot. What's out there in the Idaho for Bryan Kohberger case that you think is wrong? Like what's out there that you have heard? You don't have to say from who, but what's out there that it cut your attention though? Besides, the regular cuckoo cuckoo stuff that we get. How about if we take a look at what's going on? We take a look about what's going on. Oh yeah, no, you're good though. We'll probably we probably talk about that case a little bit at some point later on. I don't know. It's one of those cases that you know what I mean? Yeah. Again, the mom knew certain things. You know what I mean? And it just so Kathleen want to talk about the time of death. Time of death. Very, very important. The time of death in this case, though. Very important. Do y'all trust? Do y'all trust the time of death, the Moscow PD? Do y'all trust it? Has Casper dropped anything? Big shout out to Casper. Casper dropped a month ago. He got great documentaries. I like in the way he put it together. Big shout out to Casper West. He had put out some very good videos about the Idaho full Bryan Kohberger case. Who's this? We're gonna talk about the time of death. No one knows where Ethan and Santa were. You see, me and Kara, and big shout out to Kara. Me and Kara had a conversation about that though, about the time of death, about where Ethan and Santa could have been, and where we together, me and her, saw where Santa could be. Again, it's so funny how a lot of people, want to ignore certain things about this case, and I get that. I totally understand. But me having the opportunity to talk to Kara about this case, right? It did allow me to see a different perspective about this crime that I believe other people have not been able to grasp. And I'm talking about the conversation that Santa had with her mom right after the fight at the fraternity house. If one of the things that no one can deny in this case, and one of the things that is actually a fact in this case, is that Ethan got into a fight hours before he died. Can we get that out the way? Can we get that clear? Can we make sure that we do not forget that in the Idaho full Bryan Kohberger case, okay, in the Idaho full Bryan Kohberger case, a matter of a fact, a matter of a fact that no one, and I mean no one, guilters, not guilters, it don't matter who you are. But if you have listened to the Idaho full Bryan Kohberger case, if one thing is for sure and two things for certain, is that Ethan got into a fight at the Sigma Chi frat house with a brother from the fraternity, and he died. In the same way, rest in peace, the 3 young ladies that died with him, that passed away with him the same day. It seems in the same horrendous manner. But it seems that even though a lot of people at this day to day want to have Santa and Ethan as the targets, they were not the targets. But is there something to talk about of how hours after a fight, Ethan ended up dead? We have spoke about, in this case, we could have a group of people with multiple reasons. As we could all agree, this crime did not happen on the hands of one person. If you ask me, it was multiple assailants, at least 4, with multiple different weapons. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, y'all need to understand that it don't matter if they have not got the murder weapon. It don't matter if they have not got the murder weapon or the multiple murder weapons that it could be. Is ways to know if all 4 victims die of the hands of the same killers. Is ways to know if the 3rd floor got killed by one group of 2, and is ways to know if the 2nd floor got murdered by another group of 2. Because one of the things that are going to transfer all over the house is if the killers from the 3rd floor are the same killers of the 2nd floor, it's going to be blood trace, not just footprints, but the blood of the 3rd floor, the first victims, is going to be at the location of the other 2nd murderer in the 2nd floor. It's going to be Kiely and Maddie's blood with Ethan and Santa. Because if the 1st floor, if the 2nd floor would have got done first, they wouldn't know that, because they would have Ethan and Santa's blood on the 3rd floor. And it seems that that we don't have that. Y'all need to know, it seems that we don't have that. It seems that in this Idaho 4 Bryan Kohberger case, we do not have that. At least in the information that it has come up, because if you realize, I would like to believe the authorities already know if the assailants from the third floor that killed Kiely and Maddie is the same ones from the second floor. They have to know that already. They have to show proof in court. They have to show proof in court that how they got to those determinations. And the third floor, it was some phone calls that were made. Ladies, correct me in the chat. It was some phone calls made towards Kiely ex-boyfriend. Those phone calls ended around, I say, 5 minutes before 3 o'clock in the morning. Something like that, give and take. And then right after that, Kiely's phone got shut off. So now you tell me, what would be the reason for Kiely to shut off her phone when this young lady lived out of her phone? Literally. Now, you give me a reason for Kiely's cell phone getting turned off, shut down, turned off around, what was that, 3:10? If you ask me, in my opinion, due to that, I spoke with Kara and that phone call from Ethan and from Santa. Well, after 12:30, I would like to say around 1 o'clock in the morning. I gotta tell you something. If everything is as I spoke with Kara and we spoke about it here in this show, and we watched the footage. Y'all know the footage that we talk about. We could agree that Kiely and Maddie got home around 2:05, 2:10. 2:05, 2:10. They left the grub truck by 1:58. Kiely and Maddie left the grub truck undotted by 1:58. That's why all that 1:45, everyone was at the house at 1:45. That was cap. In my opinion, that was a lie. That was a lie. Because if we could see very clear, Kiely and Maddie getting into that private car by 1:58, so we could only tell that they got at the house around 2:05, 2:10, give and take. A 5-minute ride. Have you ever wondered who got the dog? Do y'all think that Dylan Mortensen was babysitting Murphy for her? Do y'all think? Do y'all think? Because nobody want to talk about this while Kaylee and Maddie is out and about. Is a puppy, is a dog named Murphy that if Kaylee is not taking care of it, because she's at the corner club, and Jack the Core is not taking care of it because he's at the corner club, who was taking care of Murphy for Kaylee? Did Kaylee lock the dog in her room and just get going? Did she, put him in a cage, lock him up, or did she give the dog to someone to take care of it? Cause that means that she would have to go and get the dog wherever she left it. And if not, someone was at the house watching over this dog. Am I right to take that assessment? Like, who was taking care of Murphy while she was out? Kelly said the cage was never brought into the house. The cage was in the car, right? Because I think it's footage of that cage being inside. Okay, Kelvin, thank you though. Appreciate. Kelvin said it was planned. I mean, you could tell it was planned. You could tell if you ask me. Is a reason why Dylan lured her to the house. Like it was. She really didn't have no reason to go back. Amy said, my opinion, DM accomplice to the murder. Because she got, yeah, you just said that. Yep. Thank you, Amy Conway. Post lady in the chat. So that means, so what you think? What you think? Did Kaylee lock Murphy on her room, or she let Murphy? Do you think that Dylan Mortensen in Bethany was watching over Murphy? No, Caitlin, I totally agree with you. This killing on the Idaho Fall Bryan Kohberger case is not random. We're talking about Steve Goncalves and White. They both said in the very beginning of this case that no one gonna tell them that they know that definitely whoever did that to them, they knew him. They said it is that no one is gonna convince me of someone who was just driving around looking for victims. They even said that. They said that before Bryan Kohberger was even in question. It was like they knew already what the cops were about to say. You know what I mean? And look like they don't agree if they even say that. But then everything else besides that is being that they friends with the cops. This is the best guys ever. You know what I mean? Yeah, Kevlin, I think you're very right, because for this type of crime, it was anger, it was hate, and it was frustration. Like you could tell that it was hate, it was anger, It was frustration. You could tell that there is a lot of emotions. Because again, we're talking about it's been confirmed already that the third floor was the target. It's being confirmed already. For those that are slow in the back, it's been confirmed already that the third floor were the target. But then now we gotta talk about the people saying, "Oh, Maddie was the target." So if you're gonna say Maddie was the target, that go and complements the DNA under her fingernails, that it could be 100% Jake, her boyfriend. And if you ask me, that's exactly what the prosecution is telling the court, that the DNA under Maddie's fingernails is nothing to see here because it has to do with her personal life. That means her boyfriend at the time. So that means that the prosecution is telling the court that the DNA under the fingernails of Maddie Mae is Jake, her boyfriend. Nobody else in the true crime community talk about what we talk about here. No one. They could talk about whatever they want to talk about, but they don't talk about what we talk about here. This was already spoken in court. The prosecutor telling the court that they tried to argue that the DNA under the fingernails of Maddie Mae is nothing to see here because they relating. So that means that they already know that the DNA on the Maddie Mae's nails was Jake, her boyfriend's. So that's for those that say like, oh yeah, Maddie was the target. Kiely Goncalves got done the worst. Someone took extra time, extra strength, extra force, extra hate, extra everything, overkill, and overdone, slappy, because this was not a killing of a professional killer with a knife. Because a professional killer with a knife would have stabbed once and done. Once. You stab once in one particular place in the body, everyone knows. And if you're doing it for the thrill of the kill and get away with it quick and fast without a mess, like they try to make it look like on the Bryan Kohberger case, right? Experienced military or anyone with the knowledge of killing and how to do so, it would not be that slappy and messy. It was slappy and it was messy, like it was the first time ever that they ever did that. And they were taking all their frustrations out on Kiely, Maddie, Ethan, and Santa. So if we having Kiely and Maddie leaving the grub truck by 158, getting home by 210, 205, and we're talking about the phone call started right away as soon as she got to the house, right? Or started a little bit after. But consistent from her phone and Maddie's phone. So we're talking about from 210 to 255, it was phone calls and all this other stuff try to reach out to Jack the Cole. Me and Kara did agree that Ethan and Santa left the grub truck by 205, 210. Thank you, Amy Conway. I just want to make it make sense to people. I just wanted to make it make sense to people. So that means Kiely and Maddie getting home by 205. So around the same time that Kiely and Maddie are getting home, Ethan and Santa are leaving the grub truck. So that means Ethan and Santa will be getting to the house around 220, 230. Depends if they went anywhere else. Depends if they went to Linda Lane. If people talk about that. So we could have Ethan and Santa going back to the house easily by 2:30. By 2:30 in the morning, at the same time, the Kiely started to reach out Jack the Cole. At the same time, it's being said that it was a lot of weird things happening, that it was some movement around the trees out back. We already heard about this. Thinking about a possible prank. Try to reach out Jack to see if it was him. Check the temperature, see if he's still aggravated. Call. Never receive an answer, when we all know that now long before that he was at the corner club. So if you was at the corner club, you could not be sleeping. How fast can you just go to sleep? How fast can you go to sleep? Because what a coincidence that a white pickup truck, then now we could say it was Loach, white pickup truck. And I want you to pay attention. It was in camera. Loach pickup truck going down the King Road. And then we saw the same white pickup truck pulling up by Kiely and Maddie and Showalter when they were walking in the sidewalk. So it seems that white pickup truck, it seems what people saying out there, that it was Loach picking up Jack Decor at the corner club. That's the word on the streets. That it was Loach picking up Jack Decor. So we could tell without a doubt that Jack the Core was awake around the time the girls got the house and they started calling him. If you ask me, it's not a coincidence that if Loach is the one that pick up Jack the Core, what a coincidence that Loach and Jack the Core actually could have a motive to commit this crime, in my opinion. Loach pissed off because he got his ass whooped by Ethan, and Jack the Core pissed off because whatever's been going on in their relationship with Kiely. So if Ethan and Santa could have got to the house by 2:30, that means that they get to the house in the middle of Kiely calling Jack the Core. And they come into the house with food from the grub truck already. Big shout out to Kara. So all that stuff about ordering food and all that's all a mask. That's just a cover up. If you ask me, and I'm gonna repeat this very clear. If you ask me, by the time Kaylee's phone number got shut off, by the time Kaylee's phone got shut off, she was dying. Yeah, no, exactly, Amy. Like it's like you ain't gonna do a cast for everyone. You gonna do a cast for the killer? Just think about it for a second. How the heck they don't know where everyone was? How the heck, if they could do a cast cell phone data for Bryan Kohberger, they didn't do a cell phone cast data again? If you didn't, you did an IgG for Bryan Kohberger's DNA. You didn't do no IgG for the rest of the DNA in that house. You did a cell phone cast data report for Bryan Kohberger, but you didn't do a cast cell phone data for everyone, including the victims. Make that make sense. So again, in my time of death, in the time of death that I have declared to Moscow PD, I told them they were getting killed between 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock. Between 3 o'clock a.m. and 4 o'clock. By 4 o'clock, everybody was dead already, if not dying. They even tempered with the time of death. They said that the heater, the door was open. They said the door was open and the heater turned on to like literally to speed up, to speed up to speed up the damage on the timeline. Door open. Why? Because it stinks in there. That's why the door was open. The heater turned all the way up. They were tampering with the crime scene. They were tampering with the time of death. They throw the time of death in many ways. Talking about a DoorDash. Talking about Santa ordering food, being in TikTok. So they want to say like, yeah, they were alive by 4 o'clock in the morning. It's just serious. I'm gonna tell you something, and I promise you something. Ain't no killer, in this type of case, in these type of situations, in the way that it seems everything went down. They wouldn't done this at 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay, at 4 o'clock in the morning, it's a lot of people waking up to go to work. What are you talking about? And even if it's the weekend, at 4 o'clock, is people drinking coffee out there. What are you talking about? If a killer would have done this, this happened for sure, due to that we know around the time that the victims actually got there, and we know about the phone calls and all this other stuff. And we know Kiely phone shutting off. When her phone shut off, it told you right there and then the time that they were getting murdered. When Kiely's cell phone got shut off. Yeah, I know. And not just that, Amy. Not just that, right? If the order got there about 4 o'clock ish, that means that she ordered 45 minutes up to an hour before that. Do you understand me? Delivery time is always 45 minutes up to an hour. That's always like that, bottom line. So if the delivery got there by 4, you're going to tell me that she ordered that food by 3 o'clock in the morning, that she just got from the grub truck with food? Come on, man. This is why they're hiding the grub truck footage in plain sight in front of everyone. I already told I told Brett Payne. He know what's up. I told him Kara needs the Apple Pay from her daughter of that night. You have to have it. This is exactly what I told Brett Payne. Kara wants Santa's Apple Pay of that night. She needs the receipts of that night. Because with that receipt, it's going to prove if what we seen on the footage is 100% to 100%. Especially when the government and officers are not declaring them on that footage. So if we have Santa's Apple Pay, and it shows that exactly when she's paying for everyone else, it shows in the receipt, it's over. Because when they will have a perfect time of arrival for Ethan and Santa to the house. The whole thing about them not being on the truck, I believe, because it's too much eating on this story. We talking about the dad saying that they were eating pizza at 12 a.m. at the house, when at 12 a.m. they were at the party in the Sigma Chi. The fight happened right after, around between 12:30 and 1 o'clock in the morning. The fight happened in the Sigma Chi. And then right after, Santa called her mom. 1 o'clock, 1-ish. But then we have the dad and the sister saying, oh yeah, they were eating pizza at the house at 12 o'clock. And then we haven't getting food in the grub truck. And then now we haven't ordering food. It's too much food going on in Santa's story. It's too much food going on. And again, yeah, Yeah, and again, it's like I'm riding with you, Amy, on that. I'm riding with you because it's like if it comes, especially if it comes from Pullman, why they don't say at what time the phone call to order food was made? Why they don't say that? Because he's gonna match at the same time that everyone is getting killed. We could have two killers on the third floor and two killers on the second floor. In this Idaho 4 Bryan Kohberger case, we could have easily two killers on the third floor and two killers in the second floor. To be able to dominate, the amount of victims in this case. To dominate the amount of victims in this case, it could only happen with four assailants, two on the third floor, two on the second floor, and it's happening at the same time. Oh yeah, that house it was a DNA nest. That house it was a DNA fest. You know? Exactly, the phones. Where's the investigation to those phones, location and everything? They gotta have a time of that food to God order, right? And it wouldn't be far-fetched. It will not be far-fetched to believe that that could be part of the covering of the timeline. Just think about it for a second. 7 hours and a half to call a scripted, what it looks like a scripted phone call to 911. That even the operator knew what was going on. That it seems like, again, this is just my opinion and the way they presented it. And then it takes a total of 15 to 16 hours. It takes a total to 15 to 16 hours for law enforcement, coroner, and everyone else, detectives, getting inside of that home. After 15 hours, after 15 hours, then detectives, coroner, and everyone else that would go inside the house went inside the house. How can they get a proper time of death when they didn't went in right away to assess the whole thing? I wonder where Captain Barrett was. Because it was the conversation that they were waiting for. They were waiting for Payne. How can that story come out? Or how can that make sense? How can they could be waiting for Payne when Captain Barrett, Detective Captain Barrett, was on the scene and on charge? Make that make sense. Waiting for what? For Chief Fry and stuff? How come? how come that they did not went inside that home right away? How come? Because in my opinion, it was the lack of not experience. It was the lack of wanting to get it done. I really do not understand the reasons why the phone call was made in the afternoon, but it's if the evening, night falling, night falling, and that's when the y'all go in. Come on, make that make sense. So we could say, far as the time of death, I think we could assess that in the time of death, we could easily have between 3 o'clock in the morning and 4 o'clock, between 3 to 4. And that's like the most accurate assessment with what we know today. Which, again, if you ask me, the timeline that the government is presenting is off by a whole hour. And being off by a whole hour, that means a lot. That changed a lot in the investigation. A lot. And if you ask me, I totally agree with Kathleen. Time of death is a very important conversation in this case, which I don't get why all the content creators don't talk about it. I wonder why. If you ask me, the time of death is off by an hour, by a whole hour. Yeah, I 100. We again. That's what we know today, by an hour. That's my assessment far as the time of death go with, which I appreciate. I appreciate Kathleen for giving us a great topic for today. Yeah, I appreciate Kathleen for giving us a great topic of today, though. You know what I mean? Yeah, big shout out to Kathleen, though. And I think it was something that we needed to talk about anyway, though, because we've been living that topic like in the back of the burner for a while. You know what I mean? Big shout out to Kathleen. Thank you, Kathleen. I really do appreciate. Let me speed up with the yeah, those phone dumps. They exactly. That's what I'm saying. Though, do they have the phone? Didn't they just said that they have like 4 phone dumps of everyone? So if you have 4 phone dumps of everyone, do you understand? Like if you have all that information, if you have all that information as you say you do, how come there is a lot of information missing right now? Thank you, Caitlin. I appreciate you though. Let's see. Let's take a pic before we go. Before we go, let's take a quick pic to what's going on. What's out there right now in the Idaho full Bryan Kohberger case. Let me see what we got here. Let me see what we got here. You know, I've been paying attention to new content creators though. I've been paying attention to new content creators, you know. I've been watching them delegating like their information and stuff like that, and it's good to see though. It's good to see new content creators coming up to the niche though, because you could tell the different type of styles. You know what I mean? Big shout out to Harch. Big shout out to Harch. Always putting the work. AR Hayes. How does an alternative perp defense affect Kohberger's future? I don't know. You tell me, bro. Big shout out to AR Hayes, though. That's my guy, though. Keep up the good work, though. What's uh, what's the titles here? Where the lies began and the lies you accept. It seems like this is a very good video. I'll watch it later. I haven't watched it. I'll watch all the other ones. Witness and suspects. We could always appreciate some Harch. Big shout out to Harch Reality. I always do my my Harch Reality daily dose. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Harch. What we got here? 3 days ago, Bryan Kohberger case updates. Oh, this person it hasn't come. I haven't seen nothing uploaded for a while from that person. Big shout out to Elbows. Yes, indeed. Harsh Reality is amazing. He's doing a great work. Big shout out. Big shout out. Big shout out to Elbows. Elbows mom. Big shout out. Thank you for being here. Very so much appreciate it. Yeah, it seems like it's really nothing out there that it calls my attention though. It's really nothing out there that I could say I mean, the only thing that actually interests me so much right now in the case, right? What it calls my attention right now as we speak is having Bethany Funk confirm. Oh, thank you though. I appreciate. Big shout out to Elba's mom. Hopefully you. Thank you, thank you. Big shout out to Elbows. She said, I watch you every single day, normally on catch up because I'm from the UK. but I always say what's already in your mind. Thank you so much. Big shout out to Elbow Mom and round of applause. Thank you so much. Very so much appreciated though. That means a lot. Thank you so much. Hopefully we get to see you a little bit more often here on the live streams. Very appreciated to have you here with us today. And yes, Harsh Reality, we appreciate Harsh. We get the daily dose of Harsh, and he's a very talented human being. Very talented though. I like in the way he present his content. He has a very nice and polite form. But yes, you know what though? I think we got it all taken care of for today. I think today's topic, it was a topic that we really needed to talk about. I really gotta appreciate Kathleen for giving us today's topic. The time of death is off by an hour. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to admit, just again, in my opinion, with the information that we got at this day today, the time of death is off by a whole hour. That's my assessment far as what we know. Time of death between 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. That's the time of death that we have put together here. Hopefully y'all enjoy the conversation. Thank you so much, Amy Conway, Boss Lady in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. As always, we appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. Very so much appreciated. Cave Blin in the building. Thank you so much, Cave Blin. Very so much appreciated. Thank you for keeping me company through the whole live stream. Elbows Mom, thank you so much. Very so much appreciated. Thank you for keeping me company here. What we have in this Idaho Fall Bryan Kohberger case conversation, which it was out of nowhere. Again, it was out of nowhere. I just wanted to come and pop up and have a conversation with ya because I miss ya and I really much appreciate ya. So again, I think we're gonna cut it. We're gonna cut it here today. Good morning, everyone. Have a beautiful weekend. I'm gonna see ya again probably tomorrow. Let's see how everything is going on. But I want to say, as I always tell ya, my name is Jrod On Point. You was watching On Point True Crime. And it's a pleasure for me to be here having conversations with y'all. Thank you so much. I'm your favorite brother, your mother's favorite son, the black sheep, Jrod On Point. Believe in yourself because I believe in you. If I did it, you could do it too. I ain't nothing special. I believe that you're gonna take the best decisions in your life for yourself and for everyone around you. Love yourself, take care of yourself so you'll be able to love and take care of others. Make sure you love, hug, and kisses to your babies and love your family, love your neighbors. Make sure that we come back here to keep talking about true crime. Ladies, I'm gonna leave you with your favorite song. My favorite song. You So Sexy. Have a good morning, ladies. Love ya.
Come over here and let me know your name, boy. Your sexy smile got me checking for your seal. You caught my eyes and I'm seeing
tampoco llegamos al piso. Y sin fantasear, vamos a la estratosfera, a lo espacial. Ponte el cinturón pa' que no te vayas a marear, porque este viaje te va a enamorar.
Damn, Papi, nah, it's been on you all night.
Yo, baby boo, you know that I got you.
You know you are so sexy.
Oh, by the way, what's your number?
508, I'll give it away.
Oh, for sure.
Keep it on the low, alright?
Yeah.